It's Thursday, April 27th, and you are just in time for episode 218 of the 359 podcast. Shout out to Beefy Tech in the chat, and in the house, we've got Alfred Eng and Ben Fox Rubin. Good morning, guys.
It's podcast. I don't know what Alfred is doing. Just ignore him. All right, we had a big wheels in here, and Alfred got very excited. Yeah. No, your microphone's not on because you were playing with the big wheels. When you act like a big boy, you got a big boy microphone.
All right, I'll put the big wheels away.
What are we talking about today?
Well, we've got some big news coming from Amazon. Well, it's a bit of a scoop. We think that the next Amazon Echo is going to have a face on it, or at least a screen. This is coming after yesterday when they revealed the Echo look, which
with a camera on it.
Yes.
So it looks like the next one's going to have a screen on it, maybe also a camera, and it may be coming as soon as next month. So yeah. What else do we got?
I also took a look at two cybersecurity reports that, pretty much pointed at the same thing about ransomware and how it's basically tripled in price. Not to buy, but to pay off if you ever get infected. And so it's basically getting much more expensive. And then we're taking a look at Facebook Live's killer problem, where essentially, a lot of people are in just like 2 weeks, people have been like murdered alive on Facebook.
This is a bummer.
This is kind of it's terrible news.
Let's try to keep that one a little light, but it is very important to discuss.
Yep.
So either way, send in your questions and comments. Brian will get to as many of them as he can at the end of the show. And let's do podcast.
Yep. Let's podcast. And then here we go in 3, 2.
Welcome to the 359. I'm Alfred Eng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
We've got a scoop from one of Ben's many sources about the next Amazon Echo. There have been rumors for a while now that Amazon wants to release an Echo with a screen that could help with, video chats and online shopping. The news comes just a day after Amazon unveiled their Echo Look, the voice assistant with a camera that pretty much judges your outfits. Ben, why is Amazon pushing all of these different variations out all of a sudden?
Yeah, we actually talked about this on the podcast yesterday, that if Amazon could create an Echo for literally everybody, that's exactly what they're going to do. So it looks like that's what's happening. On top of that, it looks like they kind of feel they're like hearing the footsteps with Google right now, with the Google Home, that they're trying to get out these products a little bit faster in hopes of keeping ahead of the game against Google.
I'm starting to feel like their April Fool's prank, the Alexa for dogs and cats, is like not a joke anymore.
Oh yeah, that's probably going to be coming sometime in Q4, I would imagine.
So
I'm kidding.
So why do they want an Echo with a screen? Like, what kind of benefits does that have?
Talking to a couple analysts about this, they really see the potential of voice assistants not being able to do anything and everything. Like, for instance, I've tried to shop on my Echo, and it just takes a while. Like, if you're waiting until you get to like the third option, you're already like sick of it already. So if you get a screen attached to it, you can query the Echo the same way that you normally would, but you would get all the options all at once. You'd probably like do a touchscreen thing, and you'd be able to do much easier voice shopping. You could also use it for like video chats, different stuff like that.
Well, next up, I took a look at two reports on cybersecurity released this week. They're both pointing at a trend of an increase in ransomware in both variation and price. So the average price of ransomware in 2015 was about $294 a victim. So in 2016, it jumped up to more than $1,000. So if you were unfortunate enough to be hit with the Meerkat malware, that ransomware demanded $28,730 from its victims. That is not cheap, Ben.
Jeez. So what are people supposed to do? Like, have you talked to experts as far as like, are there ways to avoid ransomware? Like, should we pay them?
I mean,
like,
it's the same way. It's the same way that you avoid most malware. Don't open up suspicious emails. The majority of them came through emails. And what some of the malware does is that they'll, like, if they get an entire system, like a hospital or a networks, they won't just infect that single computer. It'll like wait until it's spread around the entire network, and then because then they can up their price even more that way.
Good God.
And the reason why they've gone up in prices so heavily is because people are more willing to pay the ransom than try to break out of it, because it is so difficult to.
Well, you said like before, like in 2015, it was like what, $200?
Yeah.
Like you got to do a lot of ransomware to actually be making some money if you're just going to shake people down for $200.
Well, the thing is that people are actually are just paying it, and then if they know that they can't decrypt it easily, then they're going to raise the price more. If they know the customer's willing to pay. I mean, semantics research found that 64% of American victims pay up instead of just trying to decrypt it as it becomes like increasingly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And last, we have a story on Facebook Live having a problem with murderers. In just the last 2 weeks, there have been 2 notorious situations. One in Thailand, one in I believe it was Cleveland. Yes.
Yeah.
Where, these killers are going on the live streaming service for the world to see. I mean, clearly this is an issue for Facebook, which is trying to expand its live platform, but it's at the same time becoming a platform for killers.
Yeah, this is like pretty grisly stuff. I definitely hope Facebook does something more about this. And to be fair, other live streaming services from Google and Twitter, they deal with this problem too.
But Facebook does have the largest audience for that.
Totally.
Anyway, if you like what you heard, check us out on CNET.com. I'm Alfred Ng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
And thanks for listening, everybody. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into the chat. We want to give a shout out to Keaton Lanke, who is asking if we know when this. What do they call this? Amazon Face?
So, okay, the code name, the code name is Night, like Night with a K.
That is so weak.
It's a code name. It's not what the actual name is going to be when it actually comes out.
Excelsior!
I have to apologize. This is a very visceral response on my part.
Right.
Like,
no, it's okay.
It's all code names, though.
Yeah.
So
it's what Amazon is calling it internally. And, my source who told me about Night like mentioned that name, and the Wall Street Journal mentioned in their report back in last May. So this is close to a year ago. They also mentioned an Echo with a screen on it called Night. So they've been working on this thing for quite a while, and I'm quite confident that this thing definitely exists because there have been a lot of rumors about it, and it looks like it may actually get introduced next month. So we might be a couple weeks away from this actually getting introduced.
We have a fantastic theory from Matthew Dackler in the chat who says, is this a reference to Michael Knight?
I don't even, what does that mean?
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider? Maybe.
But Kit didn't have a face.
But Kit had a screen.
So the other interesting thing about this is that the Echo Look, they basically did like a soft launch of it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pre-brief anybody. They just like brought it out there. They were like, here's the YouTube video, check it out. The fact is that now that I've heard that this other Echo may be coming next month, that means that like it makes more sense why they would soft launch this product. They just wanted to get the Look out the door,
but that's
prep for this other much bigger product next month.
But that's all speculative. We do not
completely
have a date.
speculative.
Yeah.
Completely speculative. But I guess it provides a little bit more insight as to why they would just kind of drop the Look and not do like a much bigger splash about it.
Mm-hmm. Matthew Datcher also points out that, oh, sorry, I got distracted here for a second. Oh, sorry, no, Beefy Tech. Beefy Tech had a comment. The benefits of having a screen is the facial recognition and possibly medical support.
Right.
That's an interesting angle.
If the screen has a camera on it, which would make
sense.
So
the assumption is that now that the Look is out, the one with the screen is probably also going to have a camera on it too. I mean, like, why not?
I mean, if that's the case, though, then wouldn't that kind of like cut sales away from the Look, where it's basically, if the other one's also going to have a camera, like why would I spend money on this when I can just wait for the one with a screen that I can also use?
Well, the Look is invite only, right? So this is kind of a beta test phase. Can't you imagine that at one point the Echo is going to be all under the same hood? It's going to be screen, camera, audible, one box kind of thing. They're not going to have this be a component. It's not a Sega Genesis.
I mean, I still hope they keep like the different variations of it, because I am a big fan of the hockey puck.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, the hockey puck, like the Echo Dot for $50, definitely makes a lot of sense. Bloomberg wrote about an Echo with a screen in November. So there have been a lot of reports about this thing coming. It just looks like it's definitely, it looks like it's coming very soon now. But they were describing it as like a high-end Echo. So the difference between the Echo Look and whatever this Night product is going to be would be perhaps a substantial difference in price. Like maybe they would price this, like the Look is $200. Maybe this one would be, I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe 300, maybe more than that. Again, that's
I will say
speculation. I did not hear anything about price.
the screen is definitely helpful, but I only see it being helpful in like very specific situations where like it can't pick up like based off my voice command what I want.
Mhm.
So the other day I was trying to listen to the song Music by Madonna.
Mm.
And I asked, Echo play music by Madonna, but it was like, oh, playing like all of Madonna's songs instead.
You specify song,
Yeah.
play song.
No, I did that, and
Oh.
it's still that's the thing. It always has these errors. Like I was trying to listen to,
Oh, it's got to learn.
the other day I was trying to listen to Joey Badass's new album, but like his name is
Can we
spelled.
say badass on the air?
Sure.
Yeah. But in his name though, the S's are spelled with like $signs. So it's like it didn't recognize that either. Like I'm
That's
Joey
pretty funny.
Badass dollar.
Yes.
So like the
Yes.
screen would like definitely help with that.
I've had that problem too, listening to Bruno Mars's 24 Karat Magic, because it's spelled out 24K Magic, and I have to say that, which I sound like a lame-o, being like, Alexa, play 24K Magic. By the way, I know what the song is really.
Let's talk about ransomware for a little bit. Matthew, wherever he operates and works, says he's had a few clients get hit with some ransomware, and that backups and shadow copies are your friends. That is good advice to all.
Yeah, that's generally the way to go. But the attacks have gone a little bit more sophisticated, where it used to be, well, they encrypt like specific files or specific folders and things like that you can't access. But now they've gone to the point where it's like they'll just encrypt your entire like drive system.
Yeah.
Which again, like if you have everything backed up, then that's a little bit different. But that's also why they're like not specifically targeting like we're just gonna get this one computer too, whereas like we're gonna take over an entire network. So like even though we have a backup of this, you might not have a backup of something on another computer or anything like that. And they've been targeting specifically like public sector places, so like hospitals. A few months ago or like a few weeks ago, San Francisco's like entire public transportation system got hit by it.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's those things that like you can't exactly back up like
Right. Not only that, but there's more money there too.
Yeah.
Is that if you take over an entire like public sector
Yeah.
system or like a hospital needs
Mhm.
that stuff to work.
Yeah.
Like, so there's more potential for them to just pay up the money and get this over with.
And then it gets to a point with like security in that aspect where it's like they've targeted like police departments, and then essentially if you make a backup of that, like who's to ensure that that backup is safe from just somebody like stealing it and like physically in the police station or anything like that. But yeah, entire systems, it's like you can't really back up like the thing that you put your money into, like to get your what's the San Francisco equivalent of a Metro card?
I don't know.
Whatever
We're not
that
from
is,
San
but-
Francisco.
Yeah, I've never used a public.
We need
transport in San
to.
Fran.
So we need like 1 or 2 extra internets just lying around, just
Yeah.
in case. So let's get on that.
Swinging back over to smart home tech, Beefy Tech asks, do you think if the new Amazon Echo will have more control over your personal info?
Are we talking about like the night product?
I think between the Night and the Look,
Yeah.
that's a safe assumption that,
I would totally agree with that comment.
I mean-
I think that once you add a camera, once you add a screen in, then Amazon is potentially, there's a much greater potential for Amazon to acquire a lot more data from the customer.
I mean, the more information that, the more features that it has, the more information people are willing to give to it, where it's
Mhm.
like, oh, it knows all the music I listen to, but at the same time, that's because I allow it to, have access to my Spotify account.
So, and aside from privacy issues too, the possibility of having at least a screen could maybe make Alexa a little bit smarter too,
Mhm.
right? Because it would be able to, like, if it didn't fully understand what you said, maybe it would provide you with like 3 different examples
Mhm.
and be like, what did you mean by that? And that would at least train the system a little bit better to understand something if it's garbled text or what have you. So there is a consumer benefit to doing this beyond just Amazon getting more information from you.
Branching off of that, Joey comments that Amazon or Google just need to build an entire home.
Yes.
How long do we think? How far away from that are we?
like a pre-built home they just like drop somewhere
They
and
just
it's the Google
3D
house.
No, they 3D print it on the spot, and
I mean,
keys itself together, and the whole thing just knows you.
I actually love that idea. It's terrifying, but
We had something like that on our Instagram. It wasn't from Amazon or Google, but it was like some engineer that like 3D printed an entire home. Where it
Right.
was like the printer was like in the middle, and it had like it would like go around and then it would just like 3D print based off of that. I
So
can't
all
imagine.
you have to do is make it smart.
Yes. I can't imagine how sturdy it would be, like a 3D printed home, but
That would be really funny if it was like your new house brought to you by Google, and then inexplicably Google or one of those other tech companies goes bankrupt and your like house stops working. Like you have to move.
what do you mean it stops working though?
It just doesn't work. Yeah, like Google
No,
is
no,
like, sorry, all the services are done.
More likely it gets bought out by something you hate, and then you get like a Yahoo home.
Right? Evil
Verizon,
Corp.
Time Warner home.
Evil Corp took over my house. You know, like now the sink like spills out blood. This is horrible.
And the Wi-Fi constantly fails. Hey, Michael Brown, our old buddy Michael Brown, on the subject of home assistants, do you think we'll ever see a Samsung Bixby home assistant?
Well, they're aiming at that. Yeah, they talked about it going in their washing machine. That's like one of the first like non-Galaxy S8s that they're aiming it for, and then the TV, which like is like pretty standard as far as like
TV, washing machine,
smart home
refrigerator.
Goes. Yeah.
Samsung makes a ton of products, and the potential and the assumption that they're going to add the Bixby into a lot more stuff is definitely there. However, Bixby is still a very early product.
They purposely made Bixby to be able to, be on pretty much every device, not just their phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, imagine if for like Apple TV, it was able to be controlled by Siri, or like Siri was made specifically to be on.
Wait,
everything.
Apple TV can be controlled by Siri.
Yes, but imagine it too.
Oh, yeah. Just like, so, sorry, I misunderstood you.
Swinging back around, Beefy Tech is asking, how do we feel about Amazon Echo and their shopping trends? Is that bad news for other rivals of Amazon like eBay?
Oh, it's terrible news for them, I would imagine.
I mean, like, I just saw a statistic today that Amazon in the U.S. accounts for 40% of online commerce, like e-commerce.
Wow.
So, I mean, like in Walmart
that.
and eBay are their two closest competitors, and they're not even close. So what does this mean is that we're all shopping. If you're an online shopper, you're extremely likely to be shopping on Amazon, and you're probably a Prime customer, so you're shopping on Amazon a lot. What does that mean for competitors and other sellers? I don't think it really like seems very good. Like Amazon's extremely dominant right now, and it would be useful for the market if other competitors came in and balance things out a bit.
The edge of these voice assistants, though, is that it's helping them like collect a lot more data on like their customers, and then they can like tailor their ads a lot more effectively that way, right?
Right, giving Amazon the opportunity to really continue to pull ahead.
Yeah.
So is Walmart going to do a better job in the future? They've definitely been stepping up their game as far as e-commerce is concerned. I would probably expect, at least from the tech situation and the device situation, to have Google really come in and at least like with the home and with a lot of their services to at least counterbalance.
But Google's
Amazon.
perspective isn't on, we want to sell things. It's more like we want the information to, for like ad revenue purposes.
They make most of their money.
Yeah.
They make like 90+% of their money off of ad sales, but you can buy stuff through your Google Home, and they definitely see Amazon as becoming more of a direct competitor every single day. So, it's we'll see what happens with that.
We've seen Amazon do nothing over the last decade but climb slowly but surely, and then sometimes quickly and surely. Even if these new endeavors, where the ultimate horizon, like this is our new tentpole, is the smart home integration, where nobody ever has to step outside ever again.
It's a smart tent
to shop. Yeah, the smart tent. Even if the look and the night are relative failures, I don't think that's going to slow Amazon's roll at all.
Yeah, and they're still ahead right now, and the potential of the Amazon Life Pod, a la the Matrix, is just around the corner. I think they're actually going to come out with that product in 2020, where you go into the Life Pod and you just live there forever, and they'll send you stuff from Prime.
Hopefully on the night with a screen, it'll make it easier to actually make phone calls on the Echo, because that's still like my number one request. Like it's connected to the internet, it's voice commanded, like just let me make phone calls on it.
It's there. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're probably not making the deals that they need to with the telecom providers, and they also need to like do a better job of connecting to like Android and iOS, and like those two guys, like Apple and Google, don't.
I mean, I'm saying more so
Amazon.
like I mean, with Google Home, they have the potential to do like Google VoiceOver on that.
Mm-hmm.
So not Google VoiceOver, sorry, but like Google,
VoIP. Yeah.
VoIP.
Voice over
Internet
IP.
Protocol.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said void. I'm like, I don't know what that
Google
means.
Void. That's their new product.
What would that be? What would Google Void be?
I don't know. It's like a black hole. You
being
put
on
it in your
the
pocket.
being on the
They
15th page of
funded-
search, like trying to find that one song.
That is,
Yeah,
that's
that
right.
is the Google Void.
Is that an Urban Dictionary?
We should put it there. I like that idea a lot.
All right, that's a perfect place to end it for the week. Thanks, everybody. Let's wrap it up.
All right, if you liked what you heard, the 359 podcast is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, Google Play Music, and of course, CNET.com.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks,
See ya.
everybody.